Hey Arun, how are you? Thanks for coming all the way from Nottingham.
This Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google.
My son is going to be excited I'm doing this.
You watch the videos?
Your review is what he cares about.
Oh my god. And he's about to show us what the future of smartphones looks like.
He's the one who introduced your videos to me. He's like, I love Mr. Who's
We're all curious. We've seen phones drastically changing every single year, until suddenly it seemed like they stopped.
Congrats, I heard you got engaged this year.
Yes. We're planning our wedding now.
That's awesome.
So, I've traveled halfway across the world to find out from the one person who actually does have the answers.
This is going to be fun.
Have you watched any of our videos?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Which is your favorite?
The Pixel 7 Pro.
That makes me so happy.
Oh, it's good.
Okay, so what we're really interested in is the future of the smartphone. Google's launched a foldable phone. Why?
It's a good question. We are trying to push the frontier of what's possible. At the end of the day, these are computing devices. You're trying to do a lot with them. You want to be very productive. You want them to entertain you. And giving people more functionality in a device they are carrying is what we are trying to do.
Something confuses me about foldables. So I've got
Yeah.
one in my pocket here. If you look at this form factor, you've got glass, you've got components, you've got glass, you've got components, glass components. Is this the finished product? You know, you've got 3 sets of cameras, 2 displays. You can only ever use one at once. Is this it?
It's a good question. Look, I think it will be it for some people. The benefits it gives will outweigh some of the trade-offs they have. They are bigger and bulkier, though this year we made it thin enough that the front screen almost is like my regular phone. So I don't feel that trade-off when I use it. But I love when I can multitask on 2 apps. I love when I can put it as a tabletop.
So you're actually using a fold.
I mean, I've been testing a fold for a while now. I use both. There are things I'm like, well, I'd rather have my regular phone. There are times I'm like, oh, I love what the fold does.
So in what kind of situations would you rather have your regular phone?
If I'm just traveling and I'm busy in a day and all I'm doing is pulling out and quick checking email, I'm like, well, I would rather take a lighter phone.
But you also see this as like a transitory thing. So this isn't the destination, this is the journey towards something in the future.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
This is for people who want to live on that future a bit, right? It gives you these amazing capabilities, but I do think there's more to be done here in this category as a whole.
So you know the rules, and so do I. I guess for you, what is the future of the smartphone? Because AI was talked a lot about here. Is that the future as far as you see it, more on the software end as opposed to the hardware innovation?
I do think AI will make it so much more natural and intuitive to interact, which it isn't today. We are at the early stages of all of this, but just with natural language, or when you look at something and you want your phone to understand it, that's the direction of where computing will go. We've always had humans adapt to computing versus the other way about. And AI is what will actually enable computers to actually adapt to humans. The way we look and the way we talk, us adapting to an interface in a computer.
You were talking about how people have to figure out how to search for things.
That's right.
We've learned to type in a really unnatural way to get the answers we want. Whereas it's moving towards just being able to type the sentences the way you would say them.
You know, we see this in some emerging markets. If people haven't used phones before, they do a lot of their queries by voice because they don't have this preconceived notions of how to do it. So it's an exciting direction. But the end form factor, the future version of these phones or a pair of glasses, all that is to be played out.
How does that AR glasses and stuff relate to foldables? Do you think that that's a direct replacement?
I don't think so. I think you will have a primary computing device, and increasingly phones are that for people. What we are doing with the Fold is pushing the boundaries of what a phone can be, giving them expanded capabilities in a phone-like form factor. You know, there'll be other things to go with the phone. Watches are one example. Glasses will be one down the line. And
So you imagine glasses as being like an accessory to the phone, at least preliminarily.
that's right. That is more nearer term
Yeah.
than like a fully immersive computing device on your head all the time, just because of where the state of the technology is today.
It's really hard to imagine right now that being a thing.
Yeah, that's right.
You think it's a way off still?
It depends on a lot of planes today. It's good to do this outdoors, I guess. But you know, it depends on for what. If you're really into gaming, it may not be too far away where, because of the immersion it offers, it kind of meets that product market fit. But for a general purpose computing device, I think we still have a while to go.
So Sundar said that foldables aren't really the end destination, but that smartphones are here to stay as people's main devices, which I agree with. We've developed such deep habits with our smartphones that it's going to be really hard for any new piece of tech to replace them. But then what is the future of phones?
Okay, so AI. AI, right? AI is a huge part of this picture now. I was watching Google announce the Magic Editor, and I got goosebumps watching. I thought it was incredible, and I'm so excited about it. But at the same time, it does make me think, does any part of you worry about the inauthenticity of photos at that point?
Which is why I think it's important in the context of Google Photos. This is designed for, I didn't quite get this right. Maybe there was an awkward bag in the middle. Let me brush it all up. It's to create memories. It's a good question. Where is the line?
Yeah.
Which is why when we talk about public images at large, we're also talking about watermarking, metadata, making sure the world understands something is AI generated. Today, you're always in your personal life. If someone is coming, you're like quick adjusting your living room to make it nice.
Right.
Is that authentic or not? Right? You care about those things. And so I think you're just giving people the power to do that in the context of their digital memories. But you are right. I think there is a continuum in these things. I trust people to figure this out.
There's a lot of talk about kind of doing this responsibly. And I think it's totally right to take it slow and not rush to the end point to do that. One of the things that I worry about is not even the fact that this AI can fall into the hands of bad actors, but it's more just the fact that even in a best case situation, if AI does really well and it does exactly what we're trying to make it do, then what happens to us as humans? Every kid born into the world accepts every bit of technology that exists at the time when they were born. So a kid being born into the world of AI, where they can have their essays written for them, have their emails written for them, what do they do in their life? Like, what are they?
We were always worried as humanity about every new technology curve. Like calculators, have they made kids worse at math or better or whatever it is? Humans are incredibly resourceful, creative, resilient, and they adapt. AI is definitely powerful technology. I once said AI is the most profound technology humanity is working on, more profound than fire or electricity or anything that we have done in the past. So I understand the sentiment behind the question. I wonder about the same question all the time. But I think done correctly can liberate you to channel whatever you want to do, and you have powerful tools to enable you to do that. How we find meaning, these are deep questions. But I think we will value and cherish those human experiences. If you're a doctor, you're spending a lot of time doing everything other than actually spending time with the patient and talking. Does it free you up so that your time is more spent on those moments?
It's a very hard line, isn't it? But AI is developing very quickly. It almost feels like we're chasing after it, like trying to keep on top of it. I guess I worry that a school curriculum, for example, can very easily factor in that calculators exist by just making calculator papers. How does a school factor in that people can self-write their essays? How do tools keep up with that?
Well, you could imagine maybe a teacher is judging people by getting them together in a class and asking them to discuss a topic like. Those are all adaptations that are possible. These questions were asked about Google search, the fact you can find anything online. Like, what does it mean to have that information? I watch YouTube all the time to learn on any topic that exists in the world. I would think that's a good thing. You're now making this accessible to pretty much everyone on the world, and I think that's good. But your point about the pace of change being very fast, I think that's real, and you have to give time for society to adapt to it, and that's going to be the tension as we make progress here, for sure.
Sundar is definitely a tech optimist, but I do agree with his point. Even though there are a million ways that AI could cause societal problems, our best chance of avoiding that is to take our time developing it.
I've got a few rapid-fire questions to finish off. What phone do you use?
Right now, it's the Pixel 7 Pro.
Okay.
But I'm testing. I use everything from a Samsung Galaxy to the new Pixel Fold to the iPhone.
Your SIM goes all over the place.
I just have extra numbers too.
Okay. Light mode or dark mode?
Depends. I love dark mode, but then I occasionally miss being in light mode. I switch back and I go back and forth. I'm still on the fence.
Okay.
But dark mode on the average, yeah.
If you had to pick between a bigger battery and a better camera,
Better camera.
wired or wireless charging?
Wireless charging.
Okay. You find that more convenient?
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of a joke, semi-serious. There's currently a petition right now to make me one of the voices of Google Assistant.
Oh, wow.
Where can I hand my resume?
I was about to say you should hand it to Bart, but you can send it to me later.
I'll send it
And yeah, send it to me later, so we can start with
Okay, that sounds good.
that. You have a good
Thank you so
voice. It
much.
may work out.